So is it becoming increasingly difficult to justify really this way of living with things like streaming services and downloads? And there's so many ways that people can access music, and
Right.
there still seems to be a bit of a sense of entitlement to some people that they should be able to get their music for free. That still
Yeah.
seems to permeate, yes?
I would like to think that is changing a little bit, but yes, it has permeated the culture to such a degree that it's
Yeah.
really, really hard to reverse that way of thinking. And I mean, obviously, if you walked into the Apple store and walked out with an iPhone without paying, they'd be on you
chasing you
before you hit
down.
the curb.
Yeah, pretty much.
And same if you walked into Nordstrom's and tried to walk out with a dress or something, same thing. So there's that, and then there's also just some really more convoluted, more inside baseball kinds of stuff
Sure.
about how you get paid through streaming services and that sort of thing, and that's difficult right now.
Sure.
We're in a tough spot, but hopefully it won't be that way forever because. The culture has to be able to sustain itself,
Right.
And that takes money,
Yep.
and it takes money on the recording side as well as the touring side. Both of those things really do need to work hand in hand in order
Absolutely.
for people to do what everyone enjoys.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, listeners enjoy hearing it, and yeah, the access channels being open. That can be good,
Sure.
as long as folks get compensated.
Right. Well, I do my part. We pay for services that we use.
Cool.
And having a son who is 14 who help me plays guitar and has this idea.
Yes, help you indeed.
Yeah.
You're in for
yeah.
it.
Oh, I know. I know. And he plays well, and that scares me too because I'm like, man, why can't
He's
you just
actually
suck?
good, yeah.
Why can't you just suck at this? So he has that. But the good news is, aside from that, he also thinks he's going to go to MIT to be an engineer. So I'm
Good
like,
man.
good, go.
Good
but he
man.
still plays, and he doesn't understand it all. He doesn't understand why he can't just go and download this and grab this, and why do we have to pay? So it's kind of hard for them to
Yeah.
understand because everything's right now. I
Yeah.
can have it right now.
Yep.
But they don't understand there's a cost to it, and if the cost isn't involved, then the product doesn't exist.
That's right. I mean, you work for 2 years on an album, from writing to pre-production to actually going into the studio and recording it. And then you work, and then it's almost like an even harder job begins with regard to promoting it, and that also takes money and time and effort.
Yeah.
It's tremendously cost intensive, even in the digital age where it's easier to record, it's easier to have access to the means of production to make a record that is listenable. With all the digital avenues we have, it's still a tremendous investment of time, and it's still a pretty significant investment of money as
Absolutely.
well. No matter how you do it, and for a band particularly, to invest that kind of time, and then to invest the time to promote it, to invest the time to get into a station wagon or a van, or if you're really lucky, a bus or something,
Sure.
to go around and promote it. All of that, none of that's for free. All
No.
of it costs a tremendous amount of money, and so yeah, the ecosystem has taken a huge hit, and we gotta balance the scales again.
Agreed.
However that needs to happen, we got to do it.
Somebody smarter than you or I will figure that out hopefully someday.
Well, it's
but
really it's a matter of laws. I mean, they
Yeah.
just ruled the other day. The Department of Justice just made a ruling where everything that songwriters and publishers and producers were asking for was denied,
Yeah.
and everything that the major labels wanted was upheld.
of course.
And it's just, that's the kind of imbalance we have to correct. We just have to, because right now, I mean, the labels are holding on to hundreds of millions of dollars. They made their deals with the Spotifys and the Pandoras and all that.
Yep.
They made their deals, right? But all of the songwriters and the musicians and so on that create the content that fuels those deals,
Sure.
they are kept out of the room. They're kept away from the negotiating
Absolutely.
table.
It's like the labels that whole world, those are like the one percenters.
Yeah.
You know, they have it all, they control it all. They know the guys who know the guys to get it done. And they don't worry as long as, you know, yeah,
So-
I have a whole lot of feeling on that
You
too.
know,
But
and everybody, I mean, the thing is, everybody can do well, right?
Sure.
I mean, there's a scenario by which everyone can have what they need, and we're just not there. We're
No.
not there yet.
hopefully we will be. Keep fighting. We just got to be loud.
Yeah.
Stay loud.
Yeah.